Welcome to Hip Hop United, where we talk life, music, culture, and everything in between. Today, we've got another change agent within the culture, another person that's bringing visuals and creativity to the culture. We got my brother who helped design our Hip Hop United logo. He's been doing all kinds of content within the culture for a long period of time. He's got a fantastic new movie that he spent a great deal of time working on called Exotic. Looks like it's going to be a mixture of Fast and the Furious and Scarface, just kind of bringing them all together. We got speed and we got drugs, we got everything going on, my man.
Multicultural, everything.
Everything. Well, my brother, welcome to Hip Hop United. Segrin, how you doing, bro?
Man. Appreciate you for having me. I'm good, man. I feel good. I feel accomplished. You know, I feel good. I'm here at my sister's setup, man. It's been a long time coming. I'm just loving life right now.
Man, we appreciate you kind of coming on in. I had an opportunity to take a look at your trailer for Exotic. Mm-hmm. It looks magnificent. As I mentioned, it looked like, we were combining, exotic cars and speed along with, kind of the drug trade or something like that or whatever from what I saw. Yeah. I'll kind of let you break it down. Tell me more about this movie. Tell me how it came together and just your journey in general. Let's get to know you a little bit.
Well, my journey, let's start with my journey. I started in the music business, very young age. I was 17 years old, signed to Too Short. Shout out to Todd Shaw. He brought me in the game. And, stayed in the music business for a while, but I pivoted into film. But I realized that everything I learned in the music business was to do what I'm doing now. Mm-hmm. But sometimes you don't really know that when you on your journey,
right?
But, been doing film for about 15 years. This is my first feature film, so I'm very excited about that. I shot, directed, edited, and wrote this film.
So you wore every hat.
Yeah. And I'm the executive producer. I paid for it, too. So I did everything by myself. But a lot of people ask me why I did it like that. Don't get me wrong. It's always good to have a team, but I guess I've been blessed with the talent to do it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
To do it by myself. And ownership is important to me. So I wanted to own my IP, And the best way to do that is just put money into yourself. You know what I mean? Because when more people, with more cooks in the kitchen, they want pieces of the pie. Right. So it was important for me to own my IP on my first feature film. But I did it all myself, and I guess I'm blessed with the talent to do it exceptionally well.
Nice. Now, Exotic, let's talk a little bit more about what the film is about. I kind of gave my description based upon what I saw in terms of the trailer, but you kind of give me a bit of an overview of kind of what we can expect and what's going on with this film.
So Exotic is about a young Latin man, young Cuban man that owns a exotic car rental service. Now, it's set in Miami. Now, if you know Miami, you know that's very Miami, Lamborghinis, Ferraris, McLarens, the whole 9 yards. But so he owns this exotic car rental service, but he traffics cocaine in these cars for the cartel. To put in short, I'll call it a new classic for a new generation.
Nice.
I'm being compared to Scarface, and I appreciate that because that is a classic, so to be, named in the same breath as that is a blessing. But I live in Miami, so this is a film about Miami from a man that lives in Miami, so I know the lay of the land. I know the culture there, and it was important to me to showcase the culture of Miami, because if you notice, in Scarface, there weren't no black people.
No, not really.
There was not one black person in that film. And I love that film a lot. But I don't think it really depicted the Miami as a whole. So I wanted to depict all the cultures, Cuban, Colombian, Haitian, the whole 9 yards. But it's an interesting film. To say a little bit more about the film, he traffics cocaine, and there's this reporter that from New York that she's a very ambitious reporter, and she starts reporting on the underworld of Miami, and shit goes haywire. Let's just say that.
Okay.
I've seen a little bit of that in the trailer. So
That sounds amazing. No, as I was looking at the trailer, it just looked really interesting.
Thank you.
And also to tell you, cinematography, just a beautiful
Thank you so
looking
much.
film as well in terms of that. You did a fantastic job with the
appreciate
setup
that.
in the trailer in terms of that. Tell me the difference between doing like a feature film like this and doing like a music video. Do you kind of still have the same challenges? Obviously, a video is shorter, a film is longer, but is it kind of, do you kind of go into it with the same approach?
That's a very good question. No, you can't go into it with the same approach because a music video is only a 2-minute visual to a song. There is no dialogue unless you want to make an intro or dialogue or whatever. There's a lot more planning involved. As far as feel, the cinematography can still be cinematic, but with a movie, the dialogue, the cinematography, the composition all tells the story.
Right.
It's not just the song. When you do a music video, it's more about the song. The song, how the song feels. You can have a song about something conscious, but it has a club beat. So you make a club type of music video.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
Movies aren't like that. Movies have to be direct. It has to really penetrate the emotion of the viewer. You have to feel through the screen. The dialogue has to make sense, and it's the art of storytelling. So storytelling is very, very, very important with movies. So no, I wouldn't say it's the same, but I would say from a creative standpoint, if you take out the dialogue, I would say the cinematography, you could do some cinematography, but there's only so much you can do in 2 minutes. These songs are short nowadays. Back in our day, they were like 4 minutes long.
Videos were actually movies in
Right,
themselves. Right.
So
you.
it's very different but similar.
Okay, I got you. Now, I think you said this movie took you said 8 months or so?
Yeah, but it took me 8 months. I started in February and I got done actually in October. And yesterday I just secured distribution. So I'm celebrating tonight.
Congratulations. That's
Thank
a
you.
big deal. Now, I was just about to ask you about that. Like, you've got young filmmakers. People are out there who are looking to kind of get their own things out and do that or whatever. You've just spent the last 8, plus months
Right.
putting together a film and just secured distribution for it. What advice would you give someone who wants to make a film, wants to make a movie, wants to put some content together that's similar to this, something that may help them avoid some of the pitfalls that you may have kind of run into or whatever? What's some advice you can give to them?
Well, the first thing I would say is research. Research what you want to do. Put me on culture is dead. Put me on culture is dead. Okay? It's time to put yourself on. But the only way you're going to do that is if you do research, educate yourself on what you want to do. You could be the most talented person in the world, but if you don't know the business, you're in bad shape, So, research what you want to do. Focus on getting better at what you want to do to challenge yourself, That's what I would say. Challenge yourself and be serious about your craft. Don't just do this for Instagram. Don't just do it for a look. Have it in your mind that you want to make history. It's not about the money. The money gonna come anyway. It's gonna come anyway. So focus on your product. Your product is what brings the money. Attract what you want. Don't chase.
Excellent. Now, you said earlier you were kind of a one-man, kind of band there in terms of being able to do everything with that. Is that something you just decided you wanted to do based upon maybe some experiences you've had working with a team? Or did you just feel like, I just feel as though it would just be easier for me to kind of take on these roles myself and build myself an easier path to completion?
I'm going to be honest with you, man. That came from just not being able to pay for shit in the beginning. You know, I didn't have the money to hire an editor. I didn't have the money to hire a cameraman. I didn't have the money to hire a director. I didn't have the money to hire a writer. So I just took it upon myself to learn every aspect I needed to learn so I can do what I needed to do.
Gotcha.
But I didn't learn them all at the same time. I learned one. Once I mastered that, I learned the next. Once I mastered that, I learned that. Then I came up with a plan. I said I'm gonna do about 7, 8 short films before I do my feature.
Oh.
You know, I said that because it's just like sports. You know, you gotta go in the gym. You have to, you gotta work your craft out.
Yeah.
You know, and I knew once I got in that, because I come from the music video space. I shot music videos for a very, very long time. You know, I was in the media space for a minute. Shout out to Bree. Bree is the plug in ATL.
Absolutely.
Don't play yourself. But I did these different things, and I wanted to, almost like muscle memory for my brain. I wanted my muscle memory in my brain to be really well when it came to this, so I can focus on the creative, because the technical can fuck you up. Can I? Okay.
Be you.
Okay. The technical can fuck you up really if you don't. So you have to learn your tools. Learn your tools. And once I learned the tools, then I could focus on the creative. And I just kept challenging myself. All I did was really when I transitioned from music to film, all I did was just watch every music video I ever loved, every movie I ever loved, and tried to figure out why I loved it.
That's a good approach.
Why did I love it? Why did it make me feel this way? Was it the composition? Was it the lighting? Was it the editing? And then I tried to figure out the science of it, because editing is a rhythm, So it's almost like making music to me. Because I was, when I was doing music, I was producing my own music, engineering and doing that. So it was kind of it was a smooth transition, but it was a learning curve. I was at the top of one mountain, but at the bottom of another, right? So, I don't know, man. I just did what I had to do, and I knew what I wanted to do, and I didn't really think about the money. I think when you think about the money, your product fails. But when you think about your product, the money gonna come regardless. It's just gonna come regardless. Dope dealers don't sell dope. Dope sells itself. Dope dealers don't put out flyers.
True.
I got the best cocaine.
Right.
They don't do that. They just sit and collect. So that's because of the product. The product sells itself. So you apply that to anything you do, and you find yourself turning down money. So I wanted my product to be the best it could be. Yeah, that's basically it. That's what I would tell a lot of young cats out there. Please focus on your product. You chase money, your product is gonna fail. You end up doing anything for that money, like signing your rights away, or signing your IP away. That's why I love what my sister's doing with this. She's doing a thing, She is doing her thing here in ATL. She's been the plug for years.
Absolutely.
She's been the plug for years, helping other people's shit out. Now she got her own shit. iHeartRadio. I'm so proud of her.
You and me both, man.
I'm venting a little bit, but y'all don't know. We've been in the trenches together, over 10 years, So she's seen me come up, and I seen her come up.
Yeah. Shout out to Hip Hop United.
Shout out to Hip Hop
Brianna,
United.
Man. Everything that she's done. Hey, she's the reason why I'm sitting here with you right now as well. So, much love and blessings to you. Casting. Now, as I was looking at the trailer, I saw some beautiful people in there doing things like that. Yeah. Tell me about, some of the people that did the work on this in terms of the casting and, why you're excited to see them on the screen.
A lot of people, they'll say, well, how come you didn't pay a celebrity or somebody with a name? And, sometimes that's not always good. You need somebody that can do the work. I'm not chasing the hype. I'm trying to make a classic. And in order to make a classic, you have to cast correctly and accordingly.
Right.
And if the product is good, they're going to go anywhere to get it. It don't matter who's in it.
Right. So you got some great actors that have obviously have some other projects, that are out there in the marketplace right now.
Yeah, I have some first timers in here. Like my lead actor, this is his very first film. But when I seen him, I said he's the one. He's the guy, Now, he's done projects before, but he's never done a feature film in his life.
Right.
Peter Pera. Tiffany Tony, she's done mad films. Tiffany Tony actually did the same thing I'm doing. She directed her own film and wrote it. It's out on Tubi right now. It's called Bora. Make sure y'all go check that out. Yeah, I got some first timers and some veterans in this film, but it's really important to me to cast it in a way that's memorable. I want y'all to quote every line. I want y'all to, remember every scene. I want y'all to feel it. And yes, it is about cocaine, but it's Miami. What do you expect? You know what I mean? But it's not your typical.
Okay.
It's not your typical. Peter Pera really did a fantastic job of conveying the character that I seen in my head. A different kind of gangster, if you will.
I like that. Well, when does the film drop? Mm-hmm. And the other question I had, especially you coming from the music industry, is there a soundtrack that's going to be included with that?
Yes, there is a soundtrack. I got something special. I got a surprise for everybody on the soundtrack. But yes, so one of the actors, Marco Gonzalez, he's actually an artist as well. And he did a reggaeton song, all Spanish. It's called Loyalty. So that's the theme song for the film. And I got some other surprises on there. I can't say it right now, but you're gonna see it when I put it out. When I put it out, I can't say, okay. But it's something no one's ever done before.
Okay.
For a movie soundtrack. So I did a few records. I actually I used to be an artist once upon a time, and I came out of retirement for this one. So I did a record myself. I did a record. And I produced 90% of this film, the music. I scored. The other 10% I licensed. I got a song for my nephew called 817 Snoop. I produced that record. Yeah, I produced pretty much every record on the soundtrack other than like 2 records.
Hard-working man. Put together a great project. Now, when is it dropping?
It's dropping spring of 2025.
Okay.
So spring 2025. I just hit distribution, so I will know what platforms momentarily, probably like another 30 days. I'll know exactly. I'm doing the premiere in Miami, a screening here in Atlanta. I'm doing one in LA, and I might do one in Vegas. We are doing a screening in Chihuahua, Mexico as well. Shout out to Marco Gonzalez again. This film will be in English and Spanish. So I'm hitting all markets. I worked really, really hard on this film. That's why I'm feeling good right now. I'm feeling really, really good. And everybody did their thing. I didn't do it by myself, as far as, the cast did a fantastic job. You know what I mean? A fantastic job. Shout out to my other EP, my girl, You Know Who You Are. And yeah, everything is good.
All right, man. Well, listen, we are looking forward to the film. We're looking forward to more content and things that you're going to be doing in terms of that. Exotic, going to be dropping spring 2025. I'm looking forward. Now, do you think with the soundtrack we're going to get some of that a little bit earlier than that, or going to be around the same time period? Because, I'm looking forward to those sounds.
I did something so unique for a movie soundtrack that's never been done before. I feel like I might drop it a little bit before the premiere.
Okay.
And once you find out what I did, you're gonna be like, oh, I see.
Okay. I'm excited. I'm excited for you. I'm excited for everything that you're doing. We appreciate you coming on the platform and, of course, giving us a logo and giving us energy and giving us your continued support. We obviously are going to continue to support you for this film and beyond. Everybody make sure spring 2025, y'all go ahead and check out Exotic. My brother here is doing big things within the culture. We can't wait to see whatever he does next. But most importantly, we can't wait to see what's going to happen this spring with this movie.
For sure. And y'all all invited. You know,
We
I'ma
ready,
make
bro.
on the guest list.
We ready,
Hip Hop
bro.
United. If it ain't Hip Hop United, it ain't right.